Hello, hi, my name is Shar. Welcome to the first epic. Oh, I can't even say my own name. That's embarrassing. Ranchlet YouTube video. We're a little on the budget, a little cheap, but hope you enjoy me yapping. That's what I want to do. Yap about my gender bending of one of my OCs. Cause that's always fun. I like inverting. I love all that. Undertale AU Survivor. The OC we are hitting with the with the woke ray is Kira Suzuki. She is the daughter of my hero self-insert and Dobby. I said that like I had a problem with him, but the only problem is that I haven't watched My Hero Academia in so long, so I don't know what his deal is at all. Uh, and plus, back in the day, I had a big ick about him because of the book talk aura he was given, and I didn't like that. One day I'll watch it, one day I'll plot things out better. But for now, let's just focus on my beautiful princess being turned into a man. So my sketching process is usually I will put guidelines and stuff over the reference, but for this, you can see I didn't do that. I just kind of eyeballed it because I didn't want to spend too much time on the pose and stuff. It was just to get the design down, even if the anatomy is a bit off in the end. But also, I just kind of wanted to show that I can do art like that and I can operate like that. No shame to anyone who does guidelines. Like I said, I do that. But it was just kind of first time nerves. I didn't want to come off like I'm cheating or nothing. I don't know. I'm very afraid of certain things. It's anxiety, bro. And I've recorded this like 2 times already and I'm still going back and doing it again and again because I'm nervous. So you might be wondering, how did you end up with a self-insert and a child, and well, 3 kids technically, and 3 kids that with a character you didn't even like? It's easy, my dear viewer at home, my one viewer at home. My friend Cherry. My friend Cherry came to me, asked me if I want to make a My Hero self-insert. And honestly, even though I wasn't into it, I still liked kind of the world building of it. So I went, yeah, of course, dude. And also, I love you, so let's make out. But, anyways, I also did know who to self ship with. Cherry usually gives me options, and I go with the funniest one, I think. Even if it doesn't seem like it'll work out, I will force them to make it work. I don't know. It's just funnier to me that way. I'll go into it in a different video of when I make self inserts and stuff. That might be fun. Uh, but then me and Cherry usually make our self inserts kids be friends, so that means making a kid. And that ended up with Curious, and I'm honestly really happy. Curious is one of my favorite OCs in general, I fear. I don't even know why, because her personality is just Dobby from My Hero Academia. Her face, Dobby My Hero Academia. She's just kind of like him if he was a girl. And part of that is because as a child, she would copy him a lot to kind of get his attention and let him know that she was, in fact, such a good kid. She was so devious. She was just like him for real. But then when spoiler stuff happens at the end, I think that it is going to become like an actual coping mechanism for her. That she is like him, that she acts like him is just to help protect herself, that kind of deal. And I think that's really tragic. She's kind of a doomed character, if I really think about it. That's really sad. She's my favorite, and then she's also my most doomed. That's so funny. Honestly, her gender bend is very basic, but I do like it. It was kind of fun to do. Plus, I just have fun making a dude goth. I don't make many dude OCs in general, and goth dudes, I have one. So it's kind of fun, actually. Uh, but I chose this longer code option because Dobby has a longer code in his design, if I'm remembering right. Yeah, I am. Uh, so it was just kind of a fun little nod. Keep the cross necklaces. Later on, I keep the makeup just slightly changed and the piercings Kyrus has. So yeah, that's it. And for line art, I use this texture brush, but I don't know if there's any Krita users out there that would want it. I could find a download link for it again for y'all if you want. And I don't know exactly if there's a brush like it in any other program. So sorry. Y'all have a lot, okay? Compared to Krita, I fear. So yeah, I just think that the texture and adds a little bit more flair to my art style since I feel like a lot of my art comes from the line art and the coloring because my proportions kind of change up depending on what I'm referencing, that sort of deal. It just makes me feel happy because it's fun. So, as a child, Kira's clung onto the idea of being a villain. She believed it was her destiny to do that with her life. And as an adult, she turned to that, even though I think during her teenage years, people would try to give her chances and say, you know, you don't have to do this. But she clung to that so hard because she was still a kid. She's a teenager. Her brain isn't developed fully. And she is, by the time it does develop, she realizes, I don't know if this is what I want to do, but I'm already invested so much into it that I'm staying. Because here's a kicker. Me and Cherry were talking about this during a Sims 4 sesh that we had. Kira's isn't evil. Bad person, definitely. Devious, yes. Troublemaker, yes. Definitely got up to some mischief. Definitely should have a little punishment for it because she does do crime. But she isn't evil. Just because she's very distant with people she cares about does not mean that she doesn't care for them. I think her biggest crime is as a kid, she would kind of be a little troublemaker. One thing that's consistent with her is her showing like her friends and her two brothers horror videos on her iPad or stuff like that. It's real silly. That's like a consistent thing that me and Cherry joke about is watch this scary video. We say, "Yo, imagine Kira showing everyone that. That'd be really funny." And that's like her biggest crime as a kid, and then maybe like robbing a bank as an adult. She's just a silly girl, okay? And honestly, it adds to her doom factor that she could be something else. I don't know what she could be. Drop your headcanons below. What could be Here's Normal Sona's job? Okay, I'm really excited for this part. It's coloring time. Okay, so here's the thing. Watercolor, digital watercolor, that's what I'm trying to achieve. My favorite artist loves to draw manga. It's her name now. I'm so used to learn to draw manga still, because that's how I started watching her when I was a kid. That's what her name was because she did art tutorials. Shout out to her for real. Uh, but her latest story, like little plot thing so far, is what she talked about in her YouTube videos for her fairy world thing is that she's gonna do it in digital watercolor. That's the style she's gonna do it in, and it activated my neurons so hard. So now I'm trying to achieve that look, and that's why if there's any like difference in coloring, that's why it's because I'm testing out how to do it, and I play around with the different brushes. I'll change the tip of the brush a lot. Sometimes I'll put an underlayer with a watercolor brush of like a certain color. Sometimes to show like the character's color, like if a character's main color is pink, I'll do that and put it over. Sometimes I will use a skin tone with like a flat brush so there's a more solid base underneath, which is what I did here. And but I try to use the default watercolor brushes for this. I'll try to come up with something better, like if anyone wants a tutorial, I'll do that. Makeup simulator time. I used a flat brush for this so there would be a thick layer, more color would show up. And then I used a like paint pen for this just to get a look. And you can see me do that. Also, for some of the hair details I do, I'll put a multiply layer gradient underneath it for like the bottom part, and then I'll use a skin tone around the face, you know, for that soft look, for that soft anime look. I always like that. And the skin is very basic. I'm not very good at shading, still learning, but once again, I use watercolors for that in Blend It Out. I'll change the tips of the blending tools to one of the watercolor ones just so it keeps that texture up. And yeah, that's how I do things. It's all experimentation, and I'm really scared people are going to be weird about any slight changes, like I mentioned. But it's just me experimenting. In this day and age of the internet, it's I don't want people thinking I'm AI. I don't want people thinking I'm not who I say I am. But it's just all in experimentation. It's all in learning. It's part of my process. And sometimes I forget to do certain things. Like I try to include halftones in the hair or the skin, in the clothes, but I will forget some things. So it's like, okay, man, I'm trying, I really am. And if you ever see me missing one of those things, that's why, is solely because I forgot. And honestly, I hope that one day I can make a tutorial if anyone's interested. But right now, this is just a first time video. I just wanted to yap about Kira's a little. I was really excited to talk about my digital watercoloring, and I'm just kind of excited to do in my next video, which is probably going to be about my self inserts and how I designed those. So, boy Kyrus's name is Thanatos, because Thanatos is the Greek god of peaceful death, and Kyrus are the death spirits of violent death. I thought that was a nice contrast. And soon I'm going to put a layer of saturation over my art, finish up at the background, and call it a day. But I want to take a quick moment to say thanks to anyone who watched this. It's a little nerve wracking. I have some anxiety issues. I have issues in general I don't know about. Yeah, I don't, or it's just anxiety. Not to get deep on the first video, but yeah, I want to work up my confidence in talking about my OCs, in showing my art process, in all that, cause I this is unscripted, so you can kind of tell how I talk, how I operate, and I'm hoping that if I talk more, do things more like this, I will learn to be better at it for real life and stuff. And maybe I should just go out and try it in real life, but I'm trying it's just a process, dudes, okay? And you know what? I love art and I'm trying to make something of myself with it and my stories, and this is just what we're going to do. Next time it's going to be more scripted, maybe better editing. I like editing, it's fun. But thank you to whoever watched this. I hope you have a nice day. Bye.